Hi everyone, Wendy Stone here. Today I want to talk to you about the no-poo method, or the no-poo fad, or as I like to call it, going poo-less. Now, what is the no-poo fad? It is essentially giving up shampoo and replacing it with something else, another type of cleaner, another product, another ingredient. Now, I've been poo-less for over 3 years, and I will never look back. My hair was thin, brittle, had no body, no shine, except just after shampooing. And now it's thick and full, and I actually have some natural wave that I never knew I had my entire life. I just will never look back. Now let's talk about the cycle. What is the cycle? The vicious cycle of shampoo. For me, it was 1 or 2 days. I would shampoo right after the shower. My hair would look great, super clean, very shiny, and just you're physically addicted to it, and you're mentally addicted to that gloss, right? But within a day, for me, a day, maybe 2, I would start getting really greasy roots, and my ends were still so dry. So that is the vicious cycle of shampooing, because then what do you have to do? You have to shampoo again and again and again and again to keep that gloss and to keep it clean. But what you're actually doing is forcing your scalp to overproduce sebum. So let's talk about transition. There are a lot of great videos on YouTube, actually, people sharing their experiences with their transition, going from shampoo to nothing if they're going cold turkey, or going to another type of cleaner. And you'll see a lot of thick, greasy hair, and that's actually your scalp trying to recover and get that sebum, that oil, into your hair so it can have a baseline to be healthy. Now, this will not be the same for everyone. The transition won't be the same for everyone. It depends on how you approach the no-poo method or what you decide to do in your journey. For me, it took about 3 months for my hair to really start to recover and get those oils all the way to the ends. I also cut a lot of my hair off, like the really dead ends, really bad split ends, but a lot of it recovered on its own just from having those natural oils back into my ends. But what I'm saying is your journey will be different, your transition will be different depending on how you approach the no-poo method. If you switch immediately to another type of cleaner, if you use shampoo and another type of cleaner, or you go cold turkey, it will be different for you. Now let's talk about methods. The methods to replacing shampoo or cleaning your scalp and hair. Go to Google and look up no-poo recipes. You will find an amazing amount of articles and posts, people detailing no-poo recipes using everything from hemp, kefir, clay, apple cider vinegar, honey, baking soda, eggs, just water, and a mix of all those things and more. And that's great. You may want to experiment like I did with different ingredients and see what works for you and see what's easier for you. My favorite products are soap nuts. Love these things, easy to work with. You just cook them and drain them, and you have a nice jar of this stuff for a couple of weeks. Put it in the fridge, and I'll be putting a link below, 2 links below for this and the flour, and you can try one of these if you want. Love this stuff. You can use it for laundry and dish soap, and it has that little suds, not a lot, not like shampoo, but it does. So if you like that, then this is for you. But what I settled on was dark rye flour. Yes, that's right, stuff to make bread. This is great. I love this plant. It is perfectly pH balanced, the flour, to your scalp and hair already. So when you use it, you just get a really light clean. It doesn't leave you dry, and it's just great. I love this stuff. Now let's talk about lifestyle. So my lifestyle, I'm pretty active. I'm out there fencing and camping and hiking and playing with the horses and my dogs, and I'm in the sun and I'm at the gym, so lots of sweat and dirt and bugs and etc., and sun. So I clean my hair twice a week. Now that might sound pretty conservative, based on my lifestyle. But after my transition, I had begun to establish a rhythm with my hair, and I have a baseline hair now. I know what it's supposed to feel like. I know that if I'm over cleaning or not cleaning enough, there are slight changes, but it really stays the same. This is pretty much it. And in this topic of lifestyle, this is my hairstyle. It is cage-free, free range. It does what it wants, and that's cool with me. I don't care. I don't want to spend time on my hair, and I don't anymore. It's just healthy. Now, if you have a less active lifestyle, or if you have shorter hair, your routine is going to be different. You might only have to clean once a week or once every 2 weeks. It depends. Again, once you get out of that transition and you begin to develop a rhythm and you get a baseline for how your scalp and hair should feel, then you can start to make those subtle decisions. So now I'm going to show you how to use my favorite dark gray flour. We're going to go to the kitchen and I will show you how to mix it, what to put it in, and how to apply it. Let's go. Okay, so let's look at our recipe, and calling it a recipe is probably overkill. It's really just flour and water, and that's it. So I have 2 bags, or 2 products that I like to use. One, this Bob's Red Mill, is very thin, and doesn't have a lot of big grainy pieces in it. So it's my preferred product, my preferred flour. And Mill I also like, but it's a little bit heavier. So we'll start with this, and I'll show you. Like, I'm pretty lazy. What I do is, if I have to use this, I basically use it and then I just spray down the shower walls when I'm done for those grainy pieces. But if you want to use this, if this is the only thing you can find, or if you don't want to have such a mess, what you're going to do is you're going to sift it. So you take your flour out, and this is a very fine sifter. So you can see it's very, very thin, and you just put your flour in there and just sift it out. Now this takes a long time. Again, I'm lazy. I really don't care. I did this in the beginning and very, very quickly gave up on it. But you can see it's turning real dark, and the finer flour is sifting to the bottom. And you can see here you have a nice fine leftover product. Okay, so that is how you get a finer grain out of, the only thing you can find is this stone ground really tough grain. Otherwise, let's just go to, like, let's say you do this, you get your fine powder. So I'm going to go to my Red Mill now. Again, when I do a cleaning, I use a tablespoon. So just a heaping tablespoon. So what I'm going to do, set that aside. I have, you can use whatever you want, but I just use an old grape jelly container. So I unscrew the top. You're going to need a funnel. I just take my flour and doop, right in there. Now I'm going to fill this with water. Okay, so I've filled my little bottle, my little dispenser, with about half a cup of water. And I'm going to put the lid back on and give it a little shake. And you see, you just get kind of a milky color, and that's perfect. So this container has a little bit of an opening, and that works for me. If your opening is too tight, just make sure that you're using a pretty fine mixture. Otherwise, it's gonna get stopped up by all this grainy stuff at the bottom. So what I like to do is get in the shower. I actually do a full rinse, so I wet my hair, and then you want to work this into the scalp, not necessarily your hair. It will possibly clean too much of the oils in your hair, and that's what we want. We want to keep those oils not greasy, but a nice healthy baseline. Again, talking about the baseline. So I just wet my hair, work this into the scalp, and leave it for a few minutes. Some people go 5 minutes, and then do a really good rinse of all this stuff out of your hair. And that is basically it. That it's just, again, calling it a recipe is overkill. It's really just mixing the flour with water and working it into your scalp. Again, I want to stress working this stuff into your scalp and not necessarily your hair. I sometimes do my hair if it's really dirty or if I've gotten something in it, and this works really, really great. So we'll set that aside. Now, in this video, I'm just going to leave it here, and then I'm going to do a separate video going over how to use soap nuts. So if you're not quite as lazy as me and you want to use this stuff, I will show you how to do that, how to cook it, store it, and use it as well. Well, thanks for joining me. Good luck, and may you find happiness on your no-poo journey like I did. If you have any questions, post those below, and I will do my best to answer those. And hit that like button. See you next time.